I've had movement experiments. I have a degree on my phone that's actually, it's called experimentation, and it's purely just movement on psilocybin, pretty much. And feeling during that time of movement just felt so uninhibited that even any, like, for example, any places where I felt tension in my body, it just felt like my body completely, and that I had literally infinite ways to move my body that I never knew before. It just like all suddenly unlocked. Like my body had almost had padlocks in so many different ways that my mind was just open to it. Oh, I can move in this path, but before, almost like my body had been conditioned to certain pathways over time that it became so confined. Also for context, like I always, in those situations, I had always set the intention to explore as well. Like I of course, I never really necessarily know if that is where the trip is going to take me, but the time that I did try and experiment, I always felt this sensation of like this body reset where I would suddenly find range, even in terms of like mobility and flexibility and stuff. I sometimes prior to the trip, I'm okay, I can't move here, I can't move there. But then suddenly just completely uninhibited. If I think more in terms of jiu-jitsu context, like while I was under the influence, I felt like there were certain videos or moves I had seen during the day before the trip that suddenly they would make a lot of sense. If it was really difficult for me to process before, it became much clearer to me to really go, and if I had to go and execute it the next day, it just mastered it in a way, just from looking at it visually. I would be really curious to try with psilocybin. But I think really more like the after effects, like when I did go to jiu-jitsu, because of all that, because of the reset and because of that sensation of feeling so uninhibited, it also really opened my lens to not just thinking from the language of jiu-jitsu. So this was already like a couple years passed by, right? I think prior to being exposed to psilocybin, like I still thought from mainly in jiu-jitsu. I can really see, like, if I saw a movement from dance, I could probably find some way to apply it and almost insert some functionality, just because I can somehow now take really abstract movements and insert a function. I don't think it even has to really pertain to having to do jiu-jitsu in that moment, you know, like really how it involved my thought process and how I can create. That's almost really limitless and priceless.